Welcome, welcome, welcome to another week, another Boss Chess, another bye week, whatever the situation you had, man. Welcome to another week of some power rankings, and not just any other week, but we finally done with these road matchups. These 4 weeks is finally over. I tell you, going into these matchups your record gonna look one way, and everybody records in a division conference gonna look completely different. The lie, things gonna be a lot different. So you know what I mean? We're gonna gain to these power rankings, we're gonna gain to these standings. We're gonna talk about tier Big 12, we're gonna talk about tier 3, tier 2, a little bit of tier 1, and then we're gonna move on from there. So starting with Big 12, we're gonna start off with a week 13 recap. Me versus Gino. I went ahead and take that matchup right there. Then we have Plucky versus Manny. Plucky took that matchup right there. Rain versus Vachel. Rain took that matchup right there. Then we had Chris versus Shamoy. Chris took that matchup right there. Then we had DT versus Richie. DT took that matchup right there. Then we had Jew versus Iva. Jew took that matchup right there. Plucky had a really, really good week. I didn't even know he scored that much points until now, actually watching it. Chris had a good week. Sham then had a good week like that. Richie kind of catch the postponed bug. Now a lot of people did, but I feel like he's one of the few that catch it really bad on the Wednesday and the Friday. He had Luca and he had a lot of Warriors man. And you know the man didn't play again for the week. So and he also has some other I think he had Lively and he had Tim Hardaway Jr. None of them play again for the week. So and like I said, gonna get you a chance to just glimpse it for a little second, see what went down in Big 12 Week 13 recap. So before I give out these power rankings for Big 12, we're gonna go into these standings for the league. But before we go into the current standings, we're gonna look at the ones going into the road matchup. So I believe it's week 10. So we're gonna look at week 10 standings for Big 12 and we're gonna compare it to now. Going into these road matchups, I was 7-2. Iva was 5-4. Vachel was 4-5. Shamoy was 4-5. Mani was 3-6. DT was 3-6. Chris and Richie was 6-3. Plucky was 5-4. Gino was 4-5. Rain was 4-5. And Jumari was 3-6. So, give I a second to look at these standings real quick before I show you the current standings. Now looking at Big 12 Week 14 standings, we have me at 11-2. We have Shamoy 6-7. We have Mani 5-8. Vachel 5-8. DT 5-8. And Iva 5-8. In the West, we have Chris 8-5. We have Gino 7-6. We have Richie 7-6. We have Jumari 7-6. And we have Rain and Plucky 6-7. And this is your Big 12 standings right now. This is what we have currently. Give I a second to look at it, see what went down. You can see it. You can see who was on a losing streak. You can see who struggled. You can see who struggled throughout these road trips, and you can see who really went off. Because in the standings, Iva was number 2 and he did on a 5 game losing streak. Jumari's on a 5 game winning streak. So one of them win 5 straight games, the next one lose 5 straight games, and you can see the difference within the standings. When you look at these standings, I ain't gonna lie to you, things look a little sweet in my conference, right? I ain't gonna lie. If you put a thumb next to my name and my record, and you don't watch it, and you just watch the league, you be like, "This a fucking camp league, man." Like, just throw me out the whole equation. But for real, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's a lot. It's really a lot of good teams in this league. It's a lot, especially in the West. Those teams over there really good. Those teams over there really good. If you watch the points, a lot of these teams scoring, a lot of people there in the 24s, a lot of money in the 24s, about to be in the 25s. Some of them just cracked the 25s. So like, and like people not scoring. Watch your scoring. You gotta watch your records, and you gotta watch how much points these man scoring. Everybody's scoring a lot of points. The league really average it. Like everybody really balance each other out. So it's like, I ain't gonna lie. These next couple of weeks, you gotta take it serious. You gotta take these next couple of weeks serious. So, moving on to the power rankings in Big 12, we have me at the one, we have Chris at the two, Jamari at the three, Gino at the four, we have Richie at the five, Sham at the six, Plucky at the seven, Rain at the eight, Mani at the nine, Vashel at the 10, DT at the 11, and Iva is at 12. And this is your power rankings for week 14. And going into the matchups for week 14, we have me versus Shamoy, Iva versus Manny, Fashel versus DT. And then in the West, we have Gino versus Ju, Rain versus Chris, and Plucky versus Richie. I ain't gonna lie to Ayo. 6 weeks left till playoffs. We only have 6 weeks left till playoffs. We have five conference matchup and only one more road matchups. You gotta take these weeks serious. Prime example: Gino versus you. Both of them 1-on-1 against each other, and both of them get the same record. This is a huge week for whoever win this week. But you get a tiebreaker and you take a league one game ahead of that person. Take advantage of these weeks. This you can't afford to lose no more, especially in this, especially especially with these standings. When you watch the standings in the West and you watch the standings in the East, you can't play around no more. A lot of man in the East feel that they watch certain names and they feel certain people sweet, so they're doing stupidness. They're trading for schedule, they're trading for injured man, they're doing all type of crazy shit, and they're feeling comfortable. Don't be comfortable. Can't be comfortable. Don't take nobody light. But overall, I ain't gonna lie, these next couple of weeks gonna be really intense in Big 12. I like what's going on, but we're gonna move on to tier three. Starting with tier three, week 13 recap. We had Risha versus Jed. Risha took that matchup right there. We had Ian versus Kimoy. Kimoy took that matchup right there. Then we had King versus Ish. Ish took that matchup right there. Then we had Kadim versus Chavo. Kadim took that matchup right there. Then we had Bread versus Ricky. Bread took that matchup. And then Jimbo versus Arnie. Hey, when you want to get your get back, that's how you get your get back. That's how you get your get back. Point and hey, I ain't gonna lie. Put a fuck at the table, Jimbo. Show he pass. But that's why he talking. But I ain't gonna lie. When he took the matchup going into week 10, Jimbo come back and give you a straight by week. But nonetheless, this is your week 13 recap. Let we look at the standings for tier 3. But not just any standings. Let we look at the standings that went into these road matchup. So we had Risha 7-2, Jimbo 5-4, Ish 5-4, Chabo 4-5. Pay attention to Kimoy 4-5. Then we had Bread 2-7. Then going into the next conference, we had Jed 7-2. Pay attention to Jed. Then we had Arnie 6-3, Ricky 6-3. Then we had Kadim 5-4, King 3-6, and Ian 1-8. Then boom, we get Risha 9-4. We get Ish 9-4. We get Kimoy 8-5. He is on a 5-game winning streak. That's what you call taking advantage of your opponents. Other conference, he took full advantage. Then we had Jimbo 8-5. We have Chabo 7-6. Bread 8-5. Then if you look at the next conference, we get Ricky 8-5. We have Jed 7-6. Look at Jed. He didn't win one game in these road matchups. When I tell you, they took tons and he. The man took tons and Jed. They ain't playing no games with Jed. He the only one the only 7-6. Another man. That man took advantage of he only win one game in their road matchups. Then we had Kadim 6-7, King and Ian 10-3, 1-12. When I tell Ayo that tier 3 Eastern Conference group, them man is porn stars. Them man there is porn stars. The way them man took advantage and gang bang that Western Conference in these last 4 weeks, I couldn't believe it. Like if you watch Bread, Man went 3-1. But all he doing is hanging on. He fucking hanging on to the rope for dear fucking life.
This is not me, y'all. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
That's all he fucking doing because everybody in the conference did so fucking good. But nonetheless, you get two conference game, you got a road game, and then you get three more conference games. You gotta take advantage of these games. You gotta beat your conference now. You can still make playoffs. You might gotta make some scheduled trades, but you gotta do what you gotta do to win. I ain't gonna lie. But the man team good. Man team good, but the man conference just I don't know on another fucking level. That man on another level. King and Ian, trash.
Trash.
Trash. Two of them.
Trash.
Garbage. Garbage.
Yo, this should be an Olympic.
Garbage. Horrible. 3-10, 1-12. Fucking filth. Look at this shit. This shit is horrible, bro. Arnie went 1-3. Really, dog? Jed. Oh, Jed, dog. Fucker was 7-2. Man is 7-6. And he get Joker. Ain't looking too good for that nigga right there. He this close and being on demotion watch. He's this close. This close. But nah, man. Overall, though, that one there was that one there. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect Ish to have the year he having. I didn't expect the year. I didn't expect Risha to have this type of year. Even I ain't gonna lie. If you watch the one in Big 12, it's different because them man in the West they didn't do no fucking gang banging against we. I can tell you that fuck right now. If I got add up these fucking records, we probably get more wins than them, man. If we being honest, only fuck look bad is I is the one with fucking 11 and with 2 L's. But overall, this fuck here, like look at this shit. This shit is bad. A 9-4, a 9-4, a 8-5, 8-5, and then still a 7-6. That's telling me 5 teams can be over 500 in this fucking conference. That's insane. I ain't gonna lie. I fucked up. I fuck up on that one. I ain't gonna lie. That one I fuck up on. That shit is not balanced at all. Damn. But let we move on. Let we move on. Fuck all of that. Let we move on. Let we look at these tier 3 power rankings. Get me over here looking fucking crazy with these shit, bro. So we have Jimbo at number 1. We have Ish at 2, Risha at 3, Kimoy at 4, Ricky at 5, Ernie at 6, Jed at 7, Brett at 8, Kadim at 9, Chabo at 10, King at 11, and Ian is at 12. Then for the conference matchup, we have Jimbo versus Chabo. Jimbo gonna win. Then we have Kimoy versus Brett. I get Brett. My fuck. Too late. Whatever. Then we have because he want me what he win because I is bad luck. But it is what it is. I feel you get his fuck, Brett. I feel you get his fuck, big dog. Then we have Risha versus Ish. Risha gonna wax even, son. I don't know. Yeah, Risha gonna wax you. I get you, Ish. I get you. Then we get Ricky versus Ian. This fuck was funny. I'm sorry. Then we get Arnie versus Kadim, and then King versus Jed. And that's your conference matchup for week 14, tier 3. I feel like I said everything I had to say for tier 3. I don't really get much else to say other than I gonna talk some positive. I like how Ish. I really love how Ish and Risha doing this year. I ain't gonna lie, they're really doing really good. Jimbo doing what he's supposed to do, in tier 3. Kimoy doing really good too. He doing really good. He's one of the most active traders in the league too. Ricky is Ricky, dog. Ricky gonna be Ricky. I won't be shocked if you win because the way the East looking, they're gonna beat each other up and they look like he gonna go straight to the fucking finals and win his second ring in tier 3. That's how it looking, and I can literally see that happening for him. And then I only gotta get some more trades in, man. He kept that team too long, and now the team ain't looking how it's supposed to look. I don't know, tell I remember I tell I in the pod how your team look after you draft. It's not gonna look 10, 12, 13 weeks from then. They're gonna look nasty. But if you're not trading and getting your team better, it's gonna look real sus compared to the rest of the league. Well, overall, that's why I have for tier three. We're gonna move on to tier two. We're gonna start, like I said, start off a week 13 recap for tier two. We're gonna run through this shit. We have Grove versus Bash. Grove took the matchup right there. Ross versus Draco. Ross took the matchup right there. Then we had Brandon versus Rich. Rich took the matchup. And then we had Joel versus JP. Joel took that matchup. And then we had Tobo versus Jordan. Tobo took that matchup right there. Then we had Demoy versus Marvin. Demoy took that matchup right there. Demoy ain't playing with him. Demoy said, I can't. This is the time. This is around the time of year with Demoy that just fall completely after. Oh, Demoy said he ain't doing that fucking no more. He said it was cute losing in private. But that motherfucker now have a podcast and you not about to embarrass me and I fuck with it. Fuck with it. So now we look at these standings. We look at these standings for tier two going into these road matchups. So boom, here we go. Here we go. We have Bass 6-3. We have Ross 5-4. We have JP 5-4. We have Marvin 5-4. We have Turbo 3-6. We have Brandon 2-7. Then in the next conference, we have Draco 7-2, Joel 6-3, Grove 6-3. We have Rich 3-6, also Demoy and Jordan 3-6. Give I a second to look on it, and then we look and see how these standings look today. So now we have Bash 7-6, we have Turbo 7-6, then we have Ross 6-7, Marvin 6-7, JP 5-8, Brandon 3-10. And then in the next conference, we have Joel and Grove 3-10, killing it. Then we have Draco 9-4, Demoy 6-7, Rich 5-8, and then Jordan 4-9. This is the first time I watching this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just screenshot. I didn't even got a chance to look at them. So it's like I watching it for the first time, just like Ayo. And as you can see, a lot happened. Turbo is fucking killing it. Man on a 6-game winning streak. Ross was on a losing streak until last week. He finally came out of a fucking slump. He went 1-3. But Grove on an 8-game winning streak. Joel on a 5-game winning streak. A lot of people. Somebody asked me why Grove is not on the promotion list. The reason why he's not on it is because he's not really that good of a trader. He draft really good. I ain't gonna lie. He draft really good, but as far as like trading, he good with pickups too. But as far as like trading, I wouldn't rush him into tier three because I want he develop more in tier two when it comes to like working and learning how to trade and learning how to negotiate. So that's the reason why he's not on. And I don't even think I believe if he win, he still wouldn't get promoted, but he tell me he don't want to get promoted. He's not the only one. A lot of people said they didn't want to get promoted yet. They feel they ain't ready for tier three. Someone who is ready for tier three is Turbo. Turbo and Joel, really like both of them. When you see them two spots open for King and Ian, that's like the names I'm looking at right now. If Joel wanted though, but I don't think Joel want to go in tier 2. I think he like tier 2. And that's okay with me. That's okay with me. But another name, like I said, look at Demoy. Demoy went 3-1 in these road matchups. He's 6-7 now. And yeah. So let me look at these so going at it, let we look at these power rankings for tier 2. So we have Joel at the 1, Turbo at the 2, Grove at the 3, Draco at the 4, Bash at the 5, Russ at the 6, Demoy at the 7. I don't know why every time I just see Draco, I don't forget he's also another person who more than likely might get promoted into tier 3. I don't keep forgetting him. But other than that, but yeah, Russ at the 6, Demoy at the 7, Marvin at the 8, 9 is JP, Rich is 10, and then 11 is Jordan, and 12 is Brandon. For the conference matchup, we have Bosch versus JP, Tobo versus Brandon, Russ versus Marvin, Grove versus Draco, Rich versus Jordan, and Demoy versus Joel. And yeah, that's really all I have to say when it comes to tier two. I love tier two. I'm gonna lie to you. I love tier two. It's smooth. It's smooth. Love tier two. So we're gonna move on to the last tier, tier one. Hey, nah, yo, a lot of man that just turn off the fuck like I gone. I used to give the man them some love, man. Just a little bit of love, man. Just stick around. Just stick some of them that even fast forward the fucking tier one. I go straight into watching the promotion, watching and this and this and that. But no, man, stick around, man. Let me see what we're doing. It's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick. I promise you, it ain't gonna be nothing long. So boom, tier one week 13 recap. We had Pure went ahead and beat Gillo. We had big upset. We had Slick George beat fucking Javan. Then we had Dylan went and beat Kyle. We had Rashid beat MJ. That was a big matchup. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really tell her that motherfucker does not belong in tier one. I'm gonna get into that though. Then we had Lock New Parson went ahead and beat Kerry. Then we had Joseph lose to Michael. Going into the power rankings for tier one, we have Rashid at 1, we have Michael at 2, MJ at 3, Gillo at 4, Javon at 5, Pure at 6, Slick at 7, Lock at 8, 9 Kerry, 10 Joseph, 11 Dylan, and 12 is Kyle. The matchups for this conference week for tier one, we have Pure versus Joseph, Kerry versus Lock, Gillo versus Michael, Dylan versus Javon, Kyle versus NJ, and Slick versus Rashid. And let we just look at the standings for tier one, and we're gonna move on with our day. So these are your tier one standings. The only thing that really stands the fuck out to me is Rashid does not belong in tier one. And he's a prime example because he was not that good in tier two last year. So he got demoted. But he is a prime example of if anybody else in my fucking tiers dropped to tier one, they would tear your ass up. He is not even fucking trying. I know he's not trying. I know when he's trying. It's his third year. I've been watching him for the last 3 years, and he is tearing Ayo up. Tearing. It's not even fucking close how much advantage he have on Ayo. But nonetheless, that's your tier one power rankings. These are your standings. Let we move on to the last thing, and that is demotion and promotion watch. So, before we go into the demotion and promotion watch, this week and next week is my last week of doing it. I'd always stop at week 15, and then I'd start. I don't already have an idea of who I want. Like right now, I already have an idea of who I want to promote and who I don't want to promote. Only thing now is just watching, and I can change my mind. I can change my mind, but these is the important weeks. How you GM this week can change my mind easily. But I already have an idea of who I really want to promote. I have an idea of who I want to demote, and whoever wins these leagues will determine everything else. Once I know who wins the leagues, then it's just a domino effect from there. But looking at these demotion watch for Big 12, I don't have not one person on the list. Everybody is like a lot borderline. A lot of them is on like that borderline. I don't want to know who I would demote because of the records and how everybody doing. So there's only one spot open right now. So that means only the champ. Whoever wins tier three, they look like they'd be the only person to get promoted. But I don't know. I might demote 2 people out of Big 12. I don't know. It's how you finish the year. How you finish the year and how tier three, like I said, if you put pressure and Big 12 spots opens. And right now, honestly, nothing more than 2 spots gonna open for tier three. And I don't think that's gonna ever change going into next year. So for tier three, we have Ian and King, 2 spots open, but it might be three because Jed is creeping. Jed on a fucking losing streak. He's creeping. Might be 3 spots open, but right now it's two. Then we have tier two. We have 3 spots open. Brandon, Rich, Jordan. And then tier one, we have Dylan and Kyle. 2 spots open for tier one. 9 times out of 10, that's the winner out of free agent league and the winner out of beginners league. Those will be the people to go into tier one next year. But overall, that's all I have for Ayo. Hope I enjoy these power rankings, these standings. Get to it now. I'm saying this is the first week back in your conference matchup. Win your week. That's it. I'm your commish. I am out.